And welcome back to another episode of Older Mods 9, where last episode we went to the Binding Dimension, the Other and the Beyond. One of them was a void world, one of them looks like a dungeon place, and the Binding Dimension is a Binding Dimension. And we also got almost all of the templates. There's one we're missing. I don't think we're doing that today, but there's one template left. Template, and that is the unobtainium template, and I think, looking at the quests, that is a dungeon reward of some description. Other dungeons. Yeah, so if we go to the other dimension, we might find them in the library, which could be cool. Don't know if there's much of a point us making this armor. It's decent defense, like 11 armor, 9 armor toughness. Okay, that's kind of good with the armor toughness, but we get creative flight with this armor now that we've got the augment. What are we going to do today? Well, instead of going off on an adventure, I think I would like to sort out this whole situation. We've got some reasonably low tier flux storage stuff and a basic power energy cell. This thing's been handy. We haven't needed more than that, but I think it could be time, if we can, to get into Mechanism's big power storage. Now, I'm not sure where they keep the quests for that. Okay, so there's no quests for the storage thingies. Reactors, eventually. So if we look at Mechanism, and then it's like, I'm just going to scroll through until I find the picture, because I always forget the name of it. Oh, these things, the induction cells, induction casing. It's the induction matrix or something, isn't it? We can hold the thing. So yeah, all we need is like glass. Oh, there's glass. Glass would be handy. And those casings, cool. Looks pretty straightforward. And then we could start with the basic ones and then start moving our way up to the higher tier ones till we can hold ridiculous amounts of power, which would be cool. So if we're looking at casings, it's just steel and energy tablets. So we can pull that off now. Induction ports, we can pull that off now. I think this actually isn't too out of reach. I thought we had to get into like plasticky stuff or something, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, let's start by teaching the recipes for these things. So induction casings, energy tablets, we're going to need to know the infused alloy processing one. We're going to need to know the steel processing one, which we want like mechanism steel. What do they call it? Yeah, we're not quite getting the thing. So we're going to say, let's get some iron. And let's put it in, where are we keeping these? Here. So we're going to have to figure out the keeping carbon in stock. So 1 iron makes 1 enriched iron. So 1 iron makes 1 enriched iron. And that's going to go here. Nice. And we could actually set your output. Let's put that on none. Let's put everything on none. Back can still be energy. Top could be input. Front could be none. Auto eject. Nice. And then we can say enriched iron becomes. And let's just turn off auto eject just so we get the right thing. Steel blend. It wasn't what it used to make. I've noticed a couple of ores have changed what they become. But I'm sure that will do. And that becomes actually not just 1. And then we can say that one of these will become smelting factory. Oh, we're getting those steel ingots? Interesting. Things have changed since I updated. I've noticed we're getting like immersive engineering, uranium ingots. So these recipes might break in the future, but they should be good for now. So one of them becomes one of them. Cool. So enriched iron. So that one is a, let's put auto eject on. Now enriched iron becomes steel blend. Yep, steel blend becomes that. Cool. And those other ones are just crafting recipes. And iron ingot becomes infused alloy. Now, we want to start keeping enriched carbon in stock. And the best way to do that is going to be tricky, and it's probably the front of the machine. Now, like for this one, we probably could go on the side and maybe cover it up with covers, but then these ones aren't going to work. We've got power coming in the back. Yeah, well, if I'd spaced them out, we could put stuff beside them, but let's just go on the front of them. So we want either an exporter or an importer, and I always forget which way around it is. I'm not sure if this means it imports into the block or imports into the system, and I can't ever remember if this exports from the block or exports into the block. So if we tried an exporter and we had a cable, just so that it's connected. Now what are you doing here? So if we put iron in this thing and we said the front of this machine was input, that would start inputting. Okay, cool. I think that's all we need to do. So instead, we will say extra, which should be enriched carbon. And we will say you keep enriched carbon in there. And then we're going to want the refined storage crafting upgrade, which we should know how to make that, and we should know how to make a crafting table. You can see, just saw my power doing stuff in the background. This is why we're working on upgrading that. So there's a crafting upgrade. If that was in there, then we'd teach the recipe that coal becomes enriched carbon, and that will go in the enriching factory. You should now make... Hey, it's working. I think we've just got a bit of... We've got a whole bunch of enriched carbon on here. So if we take that out, yeah. It's doing it. Nice. Cool, and then that'll keep that in stock. And then I'll just repeat that for these other things to keep their things in stock as well. And that'll be cool. If I've done it correctly, we should now be getting enriched obsidian. With this refined obsidian, you're not exporting. And then you would have been enriching, making it enriched obsidian, and that ends up in there. Nice. Cool. Probably do some speed upgrades, but I think I have now sorted all of these things. Did I put auto eject on everything? Yes. Cool. So we got all of that automated. Nice. It's been on the to-do list for a while. Now, if we wanted some of these induction casings, can we get a stack? Totally. And hey, it just works. I was expecting maybe to have to muck around with the energy tablets, but that looks pretty cool. And then this is going to go, I guess it should go, I mean, this is a nice spot we've got here. Because this is going to be fairly large, and we might want a bunch more crafters and stuff back here, so maybe we do it here. And we may as well go big. Now, is there a limit I'm not sure what the size limit is. 7 by 7 seems reasonable. Seems reasonable, I think. And so we've used that many to make that. So if we get like another 2 stacks, that should be enough. And then can we use these to make like structural glass? No. Structural glass. We're gonna want a bunch of them. Right, well, a bunch of these craft up. Start looking at the ports. It's a weird shape. It is a weird shape. I could drop it onto the floor. We would see it there, which wouldn't be the worst thing. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Hopefully it doesn't have to be like a perfect box. So then we're going to want to know how to make induction ports. That should be simple. We don't know how to make reinforced alloy. We should fix that. That's a recipe in there. So that was induction ports, and then basic storage cells. Oh, we don't have lithium. All right. Yeah, I thought there was something. I thought there was something. We probably want to get mechanism lithium dust. We don't know how to make that. We don't know how to make that. So these are all just crafting ones, and we need lithium dust. Now, lithium dust is the chemical crystallizer. Thermal evaporation chamber. Yeah, it's brine into lithium. There we go. So we've got our one thermal evaporation chamber over here. Now he's making brine, but that's getting turned into other stuff. Right, we never actually end up with lithium. No, and these things are all full, which is perfect. I suspect our digital miners stopped working. So I reckon another couple of towers over this side. It'll look kind of cool, and then we'll have lithium production set up. And it's filling in. I think this is like the last corner that's not used for anything. The big towers look cool. And just so it looks nice, I might make them this high as well. All right, crafting up a bunch of this stuff. We got a few thermal evaporation blocks in the works. They should be doing some stuff. Hopefully, I requested like a lot of those. I'm going to assume that they're on the way. So we're going to want a input for water, a input for heat. We're going to want the output of brine, then the input of brine, and then we also want, I feel like I've done too many. I've done one too many. Input of brine, does it need heat? So temperature, I'm going to say, yeah, we want heat as well. Going to want heat, and then the output could go maybe around the back, and then we'll be inside the walls. Yeah. Because then, wait. Even once we get that lithium, so we make that liquid lithium, and then we want to concentrate liquid lithium into lithium, and then we use that in the chemical crystallizer. Cool. So yeah, we could come in this wall somewhere. Oh, I've still got that augment. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, do a little importy thing. We could go here. It's still going to be slightly off, isn't it? We could actually, if we want to be super tidy, we could go in there, and then that would be our output. All right. So we get a controller and a controller. These must have to be higher. We're getting a bunch of these thermal evaporation blocks. Nice. And we just stack these up. And is that working? Looks like I didn't even realize it disassembled and turned into another one. So that's as many as we've got. Let's start with this height. I mean, we probably don't need a whole bunch of lithium. So that might be fine. That might be fine. And then that's just a simple matter of fluid pipes. We're going to want an upgrade though, which I've actually taught. I thought I taught the upgrades for the pipes. I did not. We should do that. I was sure I'd done that, but obviously not. Now this will probably keep us going. So you will pump water in here. We're going to want a couple of heaters. And then we want the flux provides energy. Let's get 2. We're missing blaze powder. And then we can plonk this just directly there. Let's start with 2,000. You make brine. Cool. You're going to pipe brine in there. You're getting brine, and you won't make lithium until we put the heater somewhere. It's going to be the output. The heater, do we put it on the front? Maybe we can't really, we could put it on the, we can't really put it on the side. We'll put it on the front. That'll do. I will say 2,000. And then you're making lithium faster than you're making brine. So if that's the case, then this can go like 1,000. And it's still more than enough, 500. Cool. You're maxed on that, 250. Let's do the minimum. Even then, that's fine. I think we're not stressing about 250 FE a tick. Cool. So there's a bunch of liquid lithium. That is going to get output through here. And we are going to have, I mean, I guess we could go right there. Into the rotary concentrator, which we don't know how to craft. But, oh, we don't know red. Shouldn't have stored my redstone as that. Rotary concentrator, and then we want the chemical crystallizer. Yeah, we probably want to teach those. All right. You will go here. I'm going to have to change your inputs. So back is for the energy currently. So if we did that, I don't think I just haven't set this to extract. Extract out. We'll just make the back input. So this must be really strictly sided. Oh wait, we need to switch this to there. Right. I think that was the issue. That was the issue. I just had it on the wrong mode. That's why I wasn't accepting the liquid. So that's making lithium gas, and then that has to go on the crystallizer, and it's also going to need power. Ha. We'll sort that. But we wanted... Do we need that fluorite? We might want crystallizers. And can we get a crystallizer? No, we won't. We do know, apparently, all the stuff. I'm confused. I don't think we had fluorite. I must be using these. It must be all dictionaried. Cool. So we are processing refined obsidian ingots. Right. You need to eject on. And there we have a chemical crystallizer. Nice. And then this will go down here. That looks good. And we will say you output. Now this is liquid and we're making gas. So gases output into hum. And you will just item output there, eject on. And we'll probably just get an ender chest. Boom. Lithium in the system. The other thing that this is all going to need is the wall closed in. But nice. We are going to want power here. And I think I'll just sneak in a flux point. That just goes like that, and then hey, liquid lithium, lithium dust. Probably want to put gas upgrades in one of these. No, they don't take gas upgrades. Well, we definitely want like some speed. I haven't told the recipes for them either. Okay. And then how much lithium do we have? We've already got 10. But let's hi. I don't want any of those things. Let's speed those up. Cool. That's faster. And it's using 1,000. That's pretty full. This probably doesn't need all these speed upgrades. That probably we can get away with. We could probably get away with another one. Yeah, he's keeping up. That'll do, and then we're using way less. Nice. We get some spare speed upgrades. Cool, so that will now get us the stuff for a basic induction cell, right? We can push that button and get that, and then we also need the induction provider, which gives us the output, which is just lithium dust and that same stuff. Hey, basic induction cell. That will go here. And then I need to teach the recipe for the other thing. And we'll just do it with one cell and make sure that everything works. All right, time to see if this works. So we've got our induction cell, and then we have an induction provider. I'll stick it on top for now. So if you haven't played around with these before, induction cell is basically the battery part of it, and the provider is output rate. So you could have absolutely massive induction cells and be able to store tremendous amounts of energy, but if you've only got like a basic induction provider, the most you can take out a tick is 102,000. Or you can get 52 million FE a tick. I don't think we're quite going to be hitting those numbers. I'm missing a structural glass, so let's see if this forms. It does. Cool. So we should be able to set this to an output. Cool. Let's flog. Let's get a flux point and a flux plug. And let's set up. I might switch over to having like a generator and a consumer network, but for now it'll be fine. So flux plug receives energy, so that would go on the output. Flux point is the input, so we'll just chuck that on there. And hey, starting to store energy. And then we turn this one on. And now he's still storing energy, but it's a little bit of an infinite loop, which probably isn't ideal. So instead we would have, so it's the output, we'd make a new network. Like power in, what? Make a new network that would be power. Well, it can't push spacebar. All right. Power. I can't push I. Power, yes. Let's make it public create. And then you will be power yes. So power input is going to go there. And then we just need to go to all of our reactors. Find the outputs. Say that's power yes. And then, yeah, let's just make it 100,000 FE tick. That's pretty cool. And then we'll do the same with these ones. Power yes. Cool. Sorted. So now I do kind of like this because this really gives you a good indication, at least while it's fully charged, gives you a good indication of how much power you're putting in and how much power you're taking out. So we're putting in 86,000 and we're using about 30,000 at the moment, which is pretty neat. And we have not filled this with many cells. Ideally, I want to go for the bigger induction cells. So I think the ultimate ones and the providers, just cause. And absolutely fill this thing full of them, but we'll get to that next episode. We now have kind of pathetic looking power generation. It's mostly an empty box, but yeah, it's going to be cool. So next episode, we'll come back. We will work on getting maybe the top tier of induction cells and providers and just store a horrendous amount of power that will take a very long time to fill up. Anyway, it's been Classic Duff. Thanks for watching. See you next time for some more All the Mods 9.